Good. So you guys I see on your Instagram all the time, you're always complaining about charging stations. Like, are you guys driving a bunch of EV cars? Like, I want to get your take on that because it's not a part of my world.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
what's going on with EV cars right now?
The charge, Jacob hates talking about this. I was just on it.
We've talked about this so many times.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
It's okay. I just went on another Clean Energy Show podcast by myself because Jacob doesn't want to talk about electric car charging. But
I'm just so sick of them not working.
the chargers, the infrastructure, how to pay and everything is just like lacking in Canada.
Okay.
But and in the States too, unless you're Tesla, because they're the only ones who want to make money off selling electric cars, and everyone else is kind of like forced to do it for a PR stunt or whatever.
Right. That's my impression of it.
That's all it is.
And like some of the things, you need an app. You can't pay with like a credit card or tap. And like it's just weird stuff. So you have like 6 apps, and every app has like $10 balance on it, and then everyone's got your credit card just to charge electric cars. And a lot of the chargers are always broken, but the cars are cool, but they also kind of suck.
Yeah, because okay, so let's just talk about the cars rather than the charging stuff, because the charging stuff.
No. I want to hear
Okay,
about
fine.
the charging.
I'll talk about both.
Look, okay, so like the only difference to me is that I can't fill up my car at home, but I can charge it at home.
Yes.
Is that what everyone's banking on?
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
Okay.
So
And
slow
that's-
charge it overnight, and then you should have enough range for your normal commute. Because not everyone's commuting like 500 kilometers a day,
Right.
and that's what everyone's like. I need to drive 500 kilometers.
Only North Americans.
But
Yeah.
but even this
500
drive
kilometers.
today, if I had the smart Cabriolet 4.2,
Or even the Mazda, the new EV with
This
like low range.
coming here and back home would have been like right to the. I would have asked to charge while we do this.
Okay.
Because some of them are like meant for city, and this is just.
But
outside.
I would have had to have a charger here.
Well, I could plug into your wall and maybe get like an extra like 4
Oh,
kilometers.
okay.
4 kilometers while we're here.
Unless
10
you
for-
have a higher amperage voltage system
Okay.
in
Yeah.
your place, which you probably do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
we're welding here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, you can talk about the cars. I just wanted to get.
Yeah. So okay, so
it's-
charging stuff is hopefully going to be solved sort of in the future, but also probably not, because we've talked directly to the companies.
Yep.
And they're saying like some of the stuff around us is the first generation of the chargers, where they actually have like the 4th generation rolling out in some parts of the States.
Chargers?
The
or
chargers,
Chargers,
the
okay,
actual
yeah,
physical
yeah.
chargers. So I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be better, but the whole idea is to charge them at home and then kind of have a second car for if you want to go farther distances,
So
basically.
How does that save the world?
And then unless you live in a condo, in which case condos won't let you
Exactly.
charge, and then they won't give you a spot with it. And then if you live in an apartment, then you're extra screwed. It's just a weird transit. We need to accept that we're transitioning to renewable energy for cars and stuff.
Is it though?
I think it's
It's
part
trying
of it.
to.
Where it's an attempt. No one knows how it's going to work out.
Yeah.
But I think like Norway's like doing a good job or something. I don't know. It's
Because then the batteries
it just-
themselves are a problem.
It just
like,
seems like a PR stunt to me.
some of them.
it does.
Unless you're
It seems
Tesla.
like it's forced from the top down.
It 100% is. It's only Tesla that doesn't seem like that, and you
Right.
can tell because of the charging system.
Right.
It's I would say flawless. In our testing, fairly minimal compared to other electric cars. It's been flawless.
Okay.
What's going to be your first electric car for the
For the shop?
shop? Like,
inventory?
is like an iMev considered a classic enough yet, or
I don't know.
what's the
I'll
first
come back to you guys. and
legendary
never.
electric?
Okay, let's
It'll-
talk about
it'll,
the
like,
cars.
it'll happen.
But the green SLS.
I mean, it was cool, but
That's
who knows how it
that's probably
drove.
the coolest first electric
so
car.
car-wise, they all feel the same. Every electric car that we drive feels identical to the next one.
Right, just because it's just torque.
Yeah.
It's just, whoa.
So when we're driving around, it's like you turn, it understeers because it's really heavy. You floor it, it goes really quickly. You're on the brakes because it went so quickly. You turn, you're understeering again. You floor it again, and it's just your neck is like,
Right.
the sensation of it doesn't make any sense compared to a gas car. So
And
every
it's
car
not
just
as
ends up
fun.
feeling the same.
I'm sure they could work on balance a little bit. Like they've got
So-
those
some of them, like the-
Formula E cars.
Sure, I don't know
But
how they are.
tires make a big difference too.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but even like the Porsche Taycan handles really well. But is it that exciting to drive after you drove it like a couple times?
Right.
That was
No.
the one car at a track day that it was on all seasons, not summer performance. The Taycan Turbo S or
the
Turbo.
one that we drove.
And I was just like, I'm done lapping at a Porsche day like this.
Yuri and I looked at each other like, I don't actually want to do any more laps.
I'm not having fun, so I'm just going
Yeah.
to stop driving on a track.
Is it because of the way the power curve is like delivered?
A little bit, because it's like you fly in
It's
hard on brakes,
instant.
then you kind of just you come out of corners quicker. So it's not
It's
that
like dirt bike racing. Like you just drive it in, turn it,
I think so. It's
Drive
like,
it right out.
Yeah, but so like our lead follow car was, I don't know, a GT3 or something like that. We're on his bumper
Okay.
on the exit, and then
Yeah.
he has like we have to let off, but then through the corners we can't keep up,
Right.
and then we just catch him again. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a totally different, like if you're gonna look at your entry apex exit speeds, it's totally different than
Right.
a gas car.
Right.
and then you forget how little brake you have because you're coming into stuff so quickly. You're like, oh my God. And you slam on it because you don't get that sensation. So
Right.
you end up going too fast.
Yes.
And you're not. You don't have the sensation of 9,000 RPM as you enter the corner.
Exactly. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that ear piece is missing.
Yeah,
like sure
yeah,
they're
yeah.
adding this like woo,
So it's
but
not
that's
for
not
the
same
track.
thing. No.
I mean, like, isn't the Plaid setting records? Like, I'm sure.
But people are also crashing in it because they don't have brakes.
But like, if you're talking about like the fastest car around tracks, I think Plaid has a
It
bunch
is.
of records, but it's different style.
Totally
Yeah.
different. I think EVs are meant to be your daily commuters. So if you're gonna get groceries, you're gonna go to work and stuff like that, you're gonna have that one car.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of perfect for that. And then you have your fun gas car or your weekend car or your go to the cottage longer distance car where you don't want to deal with the charging infrastructure. I think that's the perfect solution.
Right.
You charge at home, go get groceries, you go home.
So it's a higher income thing.
100%.
Well, especially if there's not enough public chargers for people that are working, and then you can't have it at an apartment or a condo.
Right.
Especially in Toronto, anyone under a certain point is like pretty much eliminated unless they have a Tesla, because there's a lot more chargers at like malls. They'll have like 18 kiosks where
Okay.
non-Teslas you'll have like 2.
But then charging level 3, like the fast charging, is expensive. It's as expensive as gas.
Really?
Can
Pretty
be. It
much.
can be.
Yeah, because you're paying like $20 an hour.
You get charged by the hour here instead of by the amount of power you use. But the states and other, I think, provinces maybe they charge.
No, it's a federal government thing. Yeah, I looked into this.
In
'cause it's
Canada or the States?
Canada.
Okay.
So it's actually in certain states as well.
Okay.
So it's a Measurements Canada thing. It's like an old thing that they need to change, and they're actually updating it, so it will be measured by the kilowatt soon.
Right.
But right now it's by the hour.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because the cars charge at a certain speed at 80 to 100 is a lot slower than 10 to 80, but then
Percentage.
Yeah,
percentage.
yeah,
so then
yeah.
you can set your cars usually to charge from you stop at 80%, and then the machine will stop charging you.
Okay.
But then if you're parked there too long, then you get charged an idle fee for taking up a spot,
Oh my goodness.
which makes sense because
That makes sense.
It just seems like a whole mess. Like it just seems like no
It
one's
is.
ready for this.
Well, and Yuri and I keep saying it's like, well, if you threw one of our parents into this, you're like, they'd be, what is this? Like, this is a nightmare. What if they don't have an iPhone? I don't know. It's like,
And
there's
then-
no attendant.
Oh, you're
there.
not even allowed in society if you don't have an iPhone now or
and
a
then,
smartphone.
And then on
Yeah.
top of that, I lost my. Oh, the interiors. They're like, because this is an electric car, we need to get rid of hard buttons. We just need you to talk to this car, and we're
Oh
going to
my
shine lights at you.
Every car is like this.
what?
Yeah, no, they're all like, and it's like, okay, like it's just adding more and more stuff. Because I'm a fan of hard buttons, like whatever.
Yeah.
I know how a touch screen works. When you start talking to a car, and then like I have to use a temperature slider,
Oh,
it's like,
those are the worst.
They're all like that now.